Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of Chic Chac Choe's development. Today we're going to discuss what we talked about in the previous videos. Basically what I've done is I've gone ahead and finished the animation. Here's a little preview of real time. And this is sped up, of course. The whole video is going to be sped up a little bit so you guys can don't bore to death seeing me work. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss a little process that is called vecto. Basically, I'm gonna be based new drawings that are gonna be the final ones on the rough ones I did before. So what I did is I basically copied all the little parts, all the keyframes into a new movie clip. I prefer to work with graphics, it tends to be easier for animation. And now I'm going to start coloring. So here what I'm doing is I'm picking the color swatches I had already defined for the characters. And the ones that I think are going to pop well with the background. This may change of course in the end, but this is how it is so far. So what I'm doing is I'm basically reaccommodating the values of the character. I decided to put it more transparent so I can work freely on top. And basically it has opacity. It's just the same thing, just with opacity. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and separate all the pieces of the character, meaning like a little puppet. So it's like a little puppet. So the body, the feet, the mouth, the eyes, the hat, all the little parts are going to be separated and colored differently for every keyframe. So it's a lot of work, but in the end I think it gives nice results. I'll show you what I mean after I'm done. We'll finish this video. We'll finish in the end of one pose, and then the next video we're gonna discuss about just how to do it with multiple poses and just playback and stuff, so to see how it looks. So here I started. I defined the ground for it, and I start using the pen tool, I think it's called, just defining it little by little, you know. What I do is I go through the shape using the rough that I did before as a guideline. That's the whole point and purpose of it, really. Yeah, so as you can see, I tend to work really free, and then I clean it up a little bit. The way I recommend to do it is just to take a brush stroke of it. I mean, I could continue. Don't stop in the border. Just continue all the way, and then you can go ahead and clean it up. So it's okay. It gives clean results and quite nice too. So yeah. So here what I'm doing is defining where the lines are gonna end, and it's the same process all over the place. That's the whole thing. Sorry, I had to zoom in a little, check if I was recording the video. Yeah, newbie mistakes happen. Shit. So yeah. As I go, the way to do it basically is just you basically have one symbol for the legs, or that's how I like to work. So when I go inside the leg, I have all the previous shapes of the leg, so I can reuse it quite quickly. That's the whole point of it. And I still, at this point, I work with object drawing tool, always. And then I break it apart and then I fill it. It just happens for me that it's easier to work that way. That's pretty much it. So again, this is going to be a repetition of the shapes. Just trying to figure out the shapes, trying to figure out the forms and shadows and all that stuff. Again, I like to use the guide I set below as a floor. It's really going to feel the character. It's going to let the character feel that it's actually sitting somewhere. That I think is nice. So yeah, I apologize, it is very repetitive, but it's animation. Welcome to animation, people! Again, the organization is key when you're doing these kind of things. Really, really important to name your your stuff properly, and to know what you're doing basically, or else it's gonna be very easy to get a headache when you start animating. Try to think where to cut the stuff. For example, here I'm cutting the hat, and I'm just doing half of it, and it's basically gonna be cut in three parts. So one is this part that you guys are seeing right now. The other part is the one below, like all the way to the back, and the other part is the little hat thingy that is the little squiggly thing that is in the back of the hat. It's really, really important that you guys cut your shapes properly, and another thing that is really important is to put the registry point in the proper place where it's easy to flip over, or else when you start animation it's gonna deform a lot. I'll show you what I mean in future videos. But yeah, don't be afraid to be very loose when you do these things. Actually, if you follow the rough and you keep it loose, it's gonna still have the feeling that the character is alive and not just a rigid thing, just floating over around. So don't be afraid. I apologize for the noise outside. There's a construction going on. But yeah. So again, we're gonna go ahead and work on the third piece of the hat. It's quite simple. It's just this thing in the back. The reason I'm separating it like this is so when I have this character move a little, I could add some extra animation to it, like extra bounces and stuff. It's gonna let it feel more natural, and avoid the feel that it's actually separated by shapes. If you compare like a lot of animation done for TV and stuff, if they're done in this method of separating stuff in symbols and movie clips, then you'll see that sometimes it becomes a little bit too rigid, and I try to avoid that. I like to avoid that, so the animation feels more natural, more organic and more alive. It's my personal preference, but I like it. So there we go. Here we're checking out an extra video that I did before. This video contains the animation as I like to animate, basically. And as you can see, it's all separated by symbols. And it feels more organic. It doesn't feel too rigid and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy some elements and bring them over here. So for example, Chule's mouth, eyes, that already have the colors defined and stuff. I just bring it in and just duplicate it, and that's it. As you see, there's also a duplicate version of Chule on top, but it's flipped. This is handy little tool that allows you to just compare if the character is balanced or if it's looking weird. Because, you know, I don't know if you're aware, but sometimes when you're drawing, it's not always perfect, and it can happen that an eye is misplaced, nose is misplaced, or the mouth is misplaced. So just flipping it over, it helps a lot. That's basically the reason I do it. It will help with the character stability in a way. So again, as you see, defining everything in layers and symbols, it takes a lot of organization to do it. So just be organized, be patient, and you'll get a good job in the end. In my opinion, of course. This mouth is looking quite horrible right now. It's gonna evolve as it goes. But yeah, using all the tools that Flash offers at your disposal is quite important. For example, the gradients, well applied, they tend to be really nice. Solid colors, the lasso tool is super important. All that stuff. Don't be afraid to use it and have fun with it. The most important thing, yeah, it's just to have fun and enjoy every little process and seeing your creature or your design come to life. That's the important thing, of course. Well, I apologize again if it's a little bit boring. it's a lot of tedious, well, not tedious, but watching could be a little tedious. So I apologize for that, but you'll see in the end it's gonna look nice. I think. I hope. You better like it. Like it. So again, using the layers is quite important. Here I'm in the mouth symbol, and I use a mask to cover everything, so I can move the teeth independently if I need to. Like if later on I want this Chule to bark and stuff, I can easily just make it the symbols just move around, and it's gonna look convincing and natural. So that's why I like it. Okay, so here we started refining a little bit more the shapes, adding more shadows, adding just basic shadows. This game is I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna just do it in two colors basically. That's gonna be it. I mean, to like a shadow and mid-tone, I should say. So yeah, just keeping it simple, keeping it fast to animate, using the tools Flash offers at my disposal. For example, the lasso tool, as you can see, is quite handy to make quick shadows, quick selections. Again, positioning the eyes. If you compare with the one above and the one below, I'm comparing to see if the character looks stable. That's the whole point of it, actually. Again, more shadows, trying to figure out another possible shadow tone and forms and shapes for the different sections. So here's all going to be shadow. It's quite important to keep the whole project at the same level of detail, and as you go, advance everything at the same level of detail. That's my recommendation. Don't take just one character and do it all, because it may not look nice in the end. So what I'd recommend is just to, for example, at this point when I finish this pose, I'm just going to do the whole thing for all the other characters, and then I'm going to start with the other poses, just so I can quickly change things over. This is quite important, just adding a little shadow on the floor. This is really gonna make the character feel like sitting on the floor, like he's really there. So yeah, there you have it. That's how it looks inside the project. So again, thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys learned something. I hope it wasn't too boring. So little by little, we're building up this little game, and keep the comments flowing. Share it if you like it, and just download my previous games. They're free. Try them out and give us some ideas and some feedback. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time, and good luck.